Today I'll be talking about the second set of matches from the first Champions League match day. Um, you probably won't see any gameplay, but I'll just leave the Clash TV logo. Um, PES is under maintenance, so everybody that plays PES knows that. So let's get into the matches. Because the first match I'll be talking about is the Real Madrid versus Shakhtar match. That was that was a different type of match. Shakhtar has some very quick players that can get the ball from their box to the other box in a matter of seconds, man. Like TT. Um, I when I realized Real Madrid was under one from the 29th minute, I began to watch the match because I was saying like if they can put Real Madrid under one, so really like well anybody can put Real Madrid under one, but there is a difference between Shakhtar because most of these clubs and players I am familiar with. So I was saying, um, let me just check out the match. So in a matter of the next 14 minutes, Real Madrid was under 3-0, and the way Real Madrid went under, it was creative, it was quick, it was decisive football. Um, the players that I rate the most was TT Solomon, that that man, and Dodo, the keeper too. The keeper is really fairly good for his age. Made some decent save from Asensio. Um, when Benzema came inside, could have could have equalized the game. So they did very well to keep Real Madrid out of the game for the first half. But in the second half, when Madrid goal, the key to me, this is the thing, the problem I have with some keepers. They predict that the ball is going to go outside. Like if he had paid attention to the movement of the ball, probably could have saved it. Probably couldn't save it. Let's be real. Probably he couldn't save it. But I like to see keeper get at the ball. But before I talk about that, the goals that were scored against Real Madrid were very good goals. Let's get that clear. Even though I didn't speak about, they were very good goals. These were goals that drew Real Madrid players out of the game. Even Varane's own goal, Varane was panicking. Um, these goals were goals that were created by a high paced team. So these goals were very hard to stop. Even what's his name? I think it's Solomon. The goal he scored against Courtois. I think that was the third goal here. Courtois, and the defense line was nowhere to stop him. When I was looking back at the back here, the defense line was nowhere to stop him. So that was just very quick. That was a very pacey team. But Real Madrid goes back to Madrid. Madrid scored a stunner. Um, it basically drew the defense and the midfield out of the game and was able to take a good shot. For some reason, I just like to see keepers try and not stand up as the ball passes them. It just doesn't look good. With Vitinho score, that man was hungry for a goal. He was hungry to get his team back into the game. He pickpocket Marlos, got in behind, scored a decent goal. Even on the 94th minute or in the 98th minute or sometime about then, Valverde kicked a shot. That was a rocket. I didn't get to see why it was offside. I didn't check it, but it was a rocket of a shot. So I think Shakhtar deserved to win, but Real Madrid was pressuring them, putting more pressure on in the second half, showing more intensity, showing that they actually wanted to come back, wanted to win the game. So good win to Shakhtar. So on to the next match. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Let's go. I'm going to do Bayern and Atletico lost, but first I have to do the City versus Porto and the Liverpool versus Ajax. Um, I did not see this match. Probably I should have watched it but it wasn't that intense match. For the first half, there wasn't really much to watch. It wasn't intense, and me watching football, it has to be even if there isn't any goal. I can't watch the match if there is a lack of creativity, a lack of the game has to be dynamic. The ball has to be moving. I have to see attempts, if not goals, because this makes the game intense or better to watch. Because I saw Fernand Torres for name what's his name Ferran Torres' goal, and it was a very good goal coming inside, flicking, and Gundogan scored a very good goal too. But based off of possession wise, because I didn't really watch the game, possession wise, as people would predict, City would dominate the game. Because yesterday I was making a prediction that City would, if the game didn't draw, City would win by 2-love, and City won by 2 goals. That a side like Porto is a more defensive type of team. Doesn't really create much chances. So it was going to be difficult if they didn't draw. They would have definitely lost because this Porto team does not create a lot of chances. They are second in the Portugal league. I do not know. They're second in their league. 12 goals. The second highest amount of goals scored in their league, their division. But let me check chances per the chances created per game. Set piece, penalty, open play. Oh, these are goals. Want to see chances created. Passes per match. They have very decent passing per match. Possession, average possession. They have basically more possession, but we can't look at that. They're in a smaller league. That is why I think not to compare club in the league and in the Champions League, because it's an entirely different ball game. Once you're in the Champions League, you're playing bigger or smaller clubs. We rarely find a team playing another team that is on the same level as them, and Porto was just outmatched by a better Manchester City team, having the likes Aguero, Sterling. It was going to be a difficult match for them, and I just didn't see them winning. I just saw that it would have been a 2-love or 1-0, and I kind of got that prediction right. I know that they would have lost by 2 goals, not more than, because the team is able to hold themselves up. So on to the third game, Ajax versus Liverpool. I know I haven't seen that goal. I was not able to watch the match. But let me tell you what I get from these stats. Alright, 16 chances, because I basically know these two clubs. 16 chances, 16 chances for Liverpool. They had more chances created, had more shots. They didn't have any big chances. That's crazy. They had more passing, same pass succession. To me, it was our own goal. So I'm guessing that if let me check the goal before I decide to say that goal wouldn't have won them the match, because I don't want to pass a bad judgment on Liverpool. Probably Liverpool play better ball game, or probably didn't play better ball game, but just lucky to get the goal. I am not sure because I didn't watch the match. The last two, there was the City match and City versus Porto, and the Liverpool versus Ajax. I didn't watch those matches. I still don't see the goal. So I didn't see that. but fairly it was a. From my opinion, from what I'm seeing, it was a very even game. So congrats to Liverpool for nicking those 3 points. Probably deserved it. Who knows? Leave that to the people who actually watch the match. To the last match, to my favorite match up yesterday, was Bayern Munchen versus Atletico Madrid. Hi, that was an incredible match. I'm not going to lie. I spent the last couple of the last I watched it after the no I saw the first goal. I started to watch it because it was more lively than the other matches, so that's why I chose to watch that match. Bayern were all over Atletico Madrid. Not saying Atletico Madrid didn't have chances, but Bayern were all over Atletico Madrid. All over Atletico Madrid. Mm, it was like Sunday evening football, if you know what that means. Bayern Munich was creating chances. Were creating chances. Were constantly opening up. Atletico Madrid. Not saying Atletico Madrid didn't have good chances because Suarez went behind a couple of times. Well, Joao Felix drew in 3 defenders. It was good, but the goals basically tell for that game. Sorry, the first goal was just the first goal was basically who was the player? The player that was supposed to be marking Coman was out of the game, and when the ball when Joshua Kimmich um placed the ball across the line of the defense, I thought it was offside. I was looking at it like it was offside, the position, because I thought the ball was passed one time, but it was like a sit. So he waited until Coman got back in. Then he flicked the ball over because he knew the defender wasn't going to Coman. The defender was lost to the game, and that was a well controlled shot. Took Oblak out. Well, Oblak was. Let's talk about English Coman's composure. The composure to put that ball in. It was very good. Um, Goretzka, that was a rocket. Oblak was having a bad day. A really bad day. A really really bad day because he was dealing with rockets. What do you call people that use rockets? I do not know. But unfortunately, he was the repairman that wasn't having a good repair day. There were rockets for days. Rockets. Just striking. And like that. He was just not having a good day. So, in the second half, it was a kind of rough game. Yellow cards on both sides. But Tolisso shot another rocket. It was like um, it was basically bringing in defenders, leaving a player open on the other side, and oh no, crap! That was Goetz's goal, but Tolisso's goal, when that ball came out, I knew he was going to score. Why? Because Tolisso is the type of player that strives and kicking the ball from outside of the box. He has the power and the control to let that ball begin to rise on the halfway point and hit the top of your net. That is something he perfected. He has perfected. And I do not remember how Kingsley Coman scored his last goal, but I think it was drawing defenders in. I'm not sure, but it was a good goal because I remember it had players lost to the game. Yeah, yeah, it was a cutting. He had that player twisting up on a boat. It was very bad because he couldn't. There's nothing that defender could do to stop Coman. It was speeding in, out, in again. It was very hard for him to stop.